One of the service learning projects that the students did was for a counseling service actually having to come up with a concept that would translate into 3 different marketing pieces. In this particular case, the student came up with the idea that counseling service, in order to actually get help, you've got to take that first step. It's up to you. No one's going to force you to get help. Nobody's going to do the work for you. It's all on you if you're wanting to have that help. And so the concept is actually the gym membership. The idea that instead of 3 trifold brochures, kind of the standard information that most organizations will have, is creating something that looks more like a gym membership. Because the idea, the connection, the concept is that you're doing the work. It's your membership. If you want to get better, if you want to get healthy, if you want to get fit, you have to put in the work. You'll have a trainer, you'll have a coach, you'll have somebody else to help you do that, but ultimately it is up to you. And so in this concept for the marketing pieces, the gym membership is how it's being approached as far as Shield Bearer is actually the name of the organization, that this would be the picture of the happy family and saying that you're members since 2010. This particular piece is for what they call their marriage intensives, which is like the marriage boot camp. So again, boot camp, gym membership. And as you open up the gym membership, you get the information about the marriage intensive classes, what this particular service is for. Again, the concept is that you've got to do the work. It's your membership. You're buying into it. You own it. It's up to you if you're going to get the results that you want. Now, this is the one flat piece. This will give you an idea of there were 3 additional pieces. So the client had certain colors that they used: green for their healthy relationships, and purple and gold were kind of their logo colors. So the same layout would work for all 3 of them. The other idea too is that these will all fit in a number 10 envelope. So for a nonprofit organization, having something that'll fit just in a normal everyday envelope to mail out was perfect. Everybody wants to have that something that's different and original and unique, but at the end, your budget kind of ends up dictating how the piece is going to develop. So the student really had to think about wanting to do something different and creative, but still being serviceable, still being functional for the organization. So this is definitely going to set aside from the 20,000 other brochures that are trifolds that would be on a table. Again, this one is for the support groups and classes. So when you open it up, you get all the information about all the different support groups that the counseling service actually has. So really good concept, really interesting investigation of form, different way of approaching a standard trifold brochure.
It's a investigation of form piece for Club Rush. And the idea was that I didn't want to just approach the project and just make something that was pretty. I wanted to make something that was useful, something that would have an impact. And in participating in Club Rush, manning a table, I noticed that like we would have a journal there, and we would ask people for their name, student ID, and email. And oftentimes, several people would be interested, and there would be 5 or 10 people waiting. And while they have somewhere else to go, they would leave without putting their information down because maybe the person in front of them wrote slow or what have you. So my idea was to make something that would be given to each participant of Club Rush as they entered, and they would be given their this deliverable, and these would be labels. And so they would stop at a little table, write their name, student ID, and email a dozen times. So as they're walking through Club Rush, they would avoid the lines and stick it, don't sign. And so instead of having to wait in line to write, they just and move on to the next one. And that was my investigation of form. Investigation of form in brief is when you take something and make it special in its delivery, as where this isn't just a flat piece folded, or these are all investigation of form. The jar is a good example of investigation of form. And then also on the back, my idea was to organize it because again, in participating in Club Rush, I noticed that it's really chaotic. And so I designed a map of where Club Rush normally happens, and then designated spots where each club would go. Now, in theory, this is a great idea. In practice, I don't know how well it would work, but it was my intention was to add convenience to Club Rush through this piece.
I love that idea.
Thank you very much.
So this is an invitation to Slow Food Seattle. My concept is a seed packet.
Okay. What's slow food?
So, really, we can do that.
Just briefly explain to me what slow food is.
Slow food is a movement, basically the movement where you don't, you focus on growing your own food, your own stuff, no fast food, none of that. It's a process. So basically, it's an origami invitation, a seed packet, and my concept is Grow Seattle, green for Seattle, and it opens up. You have date.
Oh wow.
And you have the skyline. And here's all the info.
That's pretty neat. I noticed the paper's brown. Is it supposed to be a special kind of paper?
Paper, like a paper bag.
Okay. The connection between it being a seed packet.
Yeah.
There's a connection there where maybe the paper would have seeds in it or something like that.
Oh, seeded paper.
So you created the logos?
Yeah. Yeah, so I came up with the idea of the logos. Basically on this one, which De La Supreme, you just open it up and you have basically the menu.
Right.
The type of food that they have there. And the works too. You have all the salads and yeah, they only serve salads. But they also have the works, which is where they say the sauce and all that stuff and so with the star wheel. And also I went ahead and put some information, something like to entice people to go to the Lake Cafe and have something to eat. And also have the business hours.
And then the tagline, did you come up with that?
Actually, he helped me out with the tagline.
Close the door and help
Yeah.
her? I like that.
And we actually picked that one because we know alongside college, open doors. That's